Trombone. What's good? You're listening to Daniel and Gian talk shit. I am Gian.
And I'm Daniel.
So we're back from a
Brief hiatus.
What do we do? Is this 2 weeks?
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks, okay.
Yeah, episode 40 now.
Episode 40. We're
almost to 50.
10 away from that half-century mark.
Yep. We're doing this a long time now. We're almost experts.
We're almost...
veterans.
We're almost vets. We're still in our rookie season. Hopefully we won't hit a sophomore slump.
Are we going to get the Rookie of the Year award?
I mean, we could do like Michael Rappaport and give ourselves an award.
We should.
We should just, yeah.
Best podcast.
Yeah, best rookie podcast.
Given to us by us.
Oh, yeah, of the D&G Talk Network.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. So tell me about hashtag Covfefe.
Is that how you say it?
I have no idea. Is it Covfefe? Is it Covfefe?
Covfefe? I think that's... I don't know. It's kind of like GIF and GIF.
Well, I kind of feel like since his wife is foreign, he picked up, he knows a little bit of different languages, like 2 or 3 words. So in her language, the pronunciation is definitely Fefe, because the English language is.
But he's Donald Trump. He doesn't care about her,
You're right.
her language.
You're right. But he had to communicate with her handler somehow, right? Well, I guess he hired somebody else to speak Latvian or wherever the fuck she's from.
I thought she's Russian.
She's not Russian.
His wife?
She's not Russian. She's like Croatian or some shit.
Oh, well. She's...
Yeah, go ahead. Say it, dude. Say it.
I wasn't going to say that it's the same thing. I was going to say that's like very easy to confuse like Eastern European people with Russians, right?
People from the Balkan states do not want to be called Russian, man. I'm just saying. I'm not even sure they were part of the USSR.
Okay.
That's the thing.
I won't say anything.
Maybe they were. I don't know shit.
I don't know anything either.
My ass.
So what it is, to answer your original question.
Slovenian.
I don't know where that is. Slovenia? Is that the country?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't even know that. So Covfefe or Covfefe, I don't know how to pronounce it, I really don't, was an example of the internet at its like...
At its worst?
Not the worst. Let me turn my phone on silent. Not its worst, but more of like what it's capable of and what it's become. Like someone retweeted something. So basically the setup is Donald Trump tweeted something about being unfairly reported, and he misspelled some word that no one knows what it was.
And I can't try to figure it out. Now we're trying to deconstruct it. We're trying to
figure out like what did he mean? Was it subliminal? And Trump deleted this tweet, and then he posted a new tweet
saying like, me and my friends know what it means. Have fun figuring it out.
Have fun figuring it out or something. Well, let me read what it says. It doesn't say that. That'd be interesting. If he said that shit, then it would be like...
That's a guy that never wants to lose face, dude. So like, don't...
Well, that's why I figured he would leave the tweet in, and you did it on purpose.
I'm sure somebody told him to delete the tweet.
Or leave it up there for a little bit.
Or he left it up there for a while, right?
He said, I'm still looking. Who can figure out the true meaning of Covfefe? ? Enjoy. That's what he deleted the tweet and replaced it with. And it doesn't mean anything. It's all meaningless. It's all something stupid. It's so interesting how something stupid like that can blow up. Like, it blew up, and there's memes everywhere, and there's some pretty funny memes and stuff like that.
Well, you want to know why it blew up, right? Because he's such a polarizing figure that people are like just sitting there waiting for him to say something stupid.
They're literally, because they want that next controversial whatever to drop.
So if anybody wants to defend him, I'm like, no, you can't do it, because he dug a fucking hole for himself already. So this is what you're gonna get, And it sucks because it's like every little thing is clickbait now. Everything's like he does anything and people are watching. Like people on the left are like just waiting for him to fuck up and impeachment. He's gonna get impeached. Impeachment.
He's not gonna. People keep saying that.
And it's like it's annoying. I don't even want to hear this shit anymore. Like call me.
It's not gonna happen.
Call me when something big happens. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they prove that he was colluding with Russia and all this shit, whatever, there's fall guys for everything. Trump's not gonna fall. Who's gonna fall? Whoever they set up and determine is gonna be the person to fall. That's what's gonna happen. That's just how it works. So even if it's approved without a doubt, he's still not going to get impeached.
Right.
And even if he gets impeached...
Yeah, turn me down a little bit, yeah.
Even if he gets impeached, It's not going to.
Doesn't mean he's going to be out of the president.
Well, but it's not. Nothing's going to happen for the next 2 years.
No, it's going to take a while. Yeah.
Because I personally believe that when the re-election comes for the Congress, I think people are going to come out to vote on both sides, so it'll actually be interesting for once.
I don't know, man. People are fucking dumb.
I just feel like Trump.
So many people. Turn me down. I'm too loud. There's so many people that are still defending. I just went up.
You're actually good.
Okay.
I think your headphone volume's kind of loud, but level-wise, you're good.
All right. Well, there's so many people that are still coming out. Nobody wants to accept the L. That's what it comes down to. Nobody wants to take the fucking L.
In anything.
So because of that, like they're defending every single movie does. Like movies that don't make any sense.
They have to.
Yeah.
That's why what's his name, Sean Spicer. Like I'd really like to know what it would be like to be him for a day.
That guy's gonna shoot himself in the face.
I'd like to follow him around for one day.
Dude, that guy's probably so stressed out. He goes home, he beats his wife, his kids hate him.
I could see him killing himself on TV. Like at a press briefing.
He's gonna pull a fucking what's that shit? That old movie Network.
Exactly. Well, he's angry or whatever.
He's not gonna take it anymore.
Yeah. But I don't know. But anyway, it's nothing important. It's not like hashtag nigger navy.
No.
Where like there was just because that was another gaffe where it was like another blunder. I think Trump tweeted that one too.
No, he didn't do that.
I'm pretty sure it was a Yahoo article about something Trump said.
Oh, nigger navy.
And Yahoo, that's what it was.
And that turned into something funny at least.
That's yeah. This one turned into something funny too, but it's just like
not as funny.
I just feel like
I woke up to my Facebook with a million Covfefe posts, and I'm like, okay, none of these are funny, and maybe somebody got
some were funny.
No, but the nigger navy people ran with that shit.
Well, because it was funny.
Yeah,
that one was funny. David Robinson is the admiral of the Navy. That's funny to me. Actually, you know who texted me about this the other day?
Who did?
Was Sammy, and he was saying Sam said he doesn't like the fact that I use the hard R to describe nigger navy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He prefers nigger navy?
I don't know, but I think it's just the fact that I use the word at all.
I get you.
But it's like, I'm not going to say N-word navy, because then that's just having you say it for me.
Right.
And it just doesn't sound as funny. Plus, I didn't make it up. I didn't, go out and start tweeting that one day. And
Sammy,
say, hey,
if you're listening to this, there's many other things for you to get upset by on our podcast. That's definitely one that you shouldn't hold against.
At least he's listening, though.
At least he is.
Yeah.
He's not telling anybody about it, though.
No, but no one is. It's okay. He'll tell people about it when we get big enough.
Oh, I've been listening to those guys
since the gut.
Since there was 80 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
I was subscriber 81.
82 now.
Is
we had
82?
80. We had 81. Excuse me. We had 82 and we lost one.
I wonder if it was that Amy chick, the film chick.
No, still on.
Oh,
I checked. Yeah.
Oh, I can't say chick either. People don't like it. Our Star Trek reaction video, people were not happy that I said chick.
Oh, the chick.
When I couldn't remember Michelle Yeoh's name.
The chick from Crouching Tiger and Dragon.
And somebody got mad. Like I should know all her movies and shit. She did one fucking movie. I can't name a Michelle Yeoh movie other than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I can't. I'll look it up though.
Was she in? She was in a Jackie Chan movie, wasn't she? I don't know.
I couldn't even name her name.
Right.
To me, she's just the lady from Crouching Tiger.
She was in an American movie in the early 2000s, and I can't remember the name of the movie because that's how much I care.
What's her name?
Michelle Yeoh.
Okay.
Y-E-O-H.
I know Chow Yun Fat. I know him.
Well, yeah, because you like hard boiled. You like all them Hong Kong.
I know. I'm just saying though. Let's see what she was in. She was in a bunch of movies. So far I'm in the early 2000s, and I haven't seen any of these movies. So she was in Tomorrow Never Dies. She was in a James Bond movie.
That's right.
Did not know that.
She was like another Bond girl, kind of.
Did not know that. She was in Memoirs of a Geisha. Never saw that, but I've heard of it. Babylon AD, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw her in that.
Kung Fu Panda 2. So that doesn't really count.
Well, that doesn't. No.
The sequel to Crouching Tiger, which I never saw.
Nobody saw it. I think it was a straight to Netflix thing.
Yeah, it was. Mechanic Resurrection. So I guess the sequel to that one. She
was not in The Mechanic, was she? With Jason Statham?
Yep. 2016, Mechanic Resurrection.
Oh, I didn't see that.
She played May.
That's a straight to DVD.
Or Mai or whatever.
Straight to DVD. Was Jason Statham in that one? Because
pretty sure
that didn't come out in the theater.
And it did come out in the theater, I remember. It made $125 million.
No, it did not.
It did.
Not domestically. No way.
All box office.
That shit did not come out in the theater.
It did.
That was limited release. That was a straight to DVD.
Grossed $21 million in America and $104 million
I can
on
see
other
it in
territories.
Europe. I can see it in Europe because I know, like, I did.
I do remember the trailers for this movie.
I don't remember that shit at all. So I don't believe you.
But she was also in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Was she?
Yeah. She plays a character called Aletta Ogord.
Oh, she was one of the Reavers.
Briefly
like
known
a
as
leader of the Reavers.
Starhawk. She's a super heroine. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
We just spent way too much money on
Way too much time on that.
Time is money to a guy like me, and your phone is dead. Kathy Griffin, Donald Trump's severed head. Got her fired from CNN today.
The article I sent you had to do with his son, Barron.
No, I know.
And
I know Barron saw it and he thought it was real, so he freaked out.
Which I have some reservations.
Well, my
that.
biggest issue with that is how old is Barron?
I think he's 11.
Like, why is he on the internet? Like why are anybody's kids on the internet at that age?
Well, I thought he saw it on TV. I think someone on TV ran it.
He ain't watching. Kids don't watch TV nowadays. They gave him an iPad, and he was watching some shit on his iPad.
All I know is he's old enough to where you would know if something's real or not.
You think so?
I think so.
Now you're insulting that. I don't want to start taking shots at people's kids.
I'm not.
You know, I think that sucks. I think that sucks that he saw that and it freaked him out.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I'm saying where his life has been fucked since the beginning because he's the son of Donald Trump, and this is not me talking crap about him. This is me just saying the dude's a billionaire. He lived a life like no other. You know what I mean? So his childhood has never been normal.
No, absolutely not.
So maybe I shouldn't say it was screwed up, but it's never been normal.
I mean, his mom's a mail order bride, so I mean,
but I'm just saying it's not normal.
Right.
But at the same time, there's certain things that I feel like a parent could like bestow upon their kid to like understand that like it's not real. That's not real.
I mean, it could be a thing that.
Is he so sheltered he doesn't like
exactly like his dad is so much in the public eye that mom's is like, you know what, I don't want him
to know any of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he saw this one thing. I mean, I'm not talking. I don't. It sucks. But to me,
I mean, not every kid grew up in the ghetto like you did, bro. Didn't see your first dead body at the age of 7
on the train tracks and stuff.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is
like that one summer where you and your buddies found that dead body, so you went down the train tracks to go look at it again, and then Kiefer Sutherland came after you guys.
You know, I've never seen that movie. I know what it is. I've just never seen it. Stand By Me, right?
Right.
I've seen like the vomiting scene. Like I remember that. I mean, I've probably seen the movie. But anyway, the only reason why I sent this to you is because it's Trump's kid. All of a sudden, it matters.
I don't think that's what got her fired.
It went around.
I think right now.
Oh, she screwed herself.
I think right now we've talked about this before, but because we live in this outrage culture right now, that you can't do anything anymore, and that like has set off everybody. So everybody's feelings are getting hurt. The conservatives that have been calling liberals snowflaked today.
Totally.
Hardcore
100%.
snowflaked.
100%.
And it's funny because I posted, I reposted somebody else's picture that has like 7 or 8 pictures of Obama. Like,
oh, the one that getting lynched. I saved that. I saved that image. I'm actually going to put it on the podcast. Someone shared it.
And I mean, maybe I'm just completely naive, and that's how like not up on shit I was.
That wasn't covered in the news.
Exactly. I never heard anybody complaining about that. It didn't.
Which is why I brought up his son. Like, because all of a sudden it affected his son saw it, so all of a sudden it's a big deal. Now you're saying it's not because of that, and I agree, but that's that snowflake mentality where it's like one image. Like, we know Kathy Griffin did not decapitate Donald Trump.
Right. She's kind of crazy though, man. But she wouldn't have got close enough though.
That wouldn't have happened.
Right. She's not hot enough to get close enough to Donald Trump.
If she hired some Mexicans and then dressed them up like ISIS and then did that, then she might have. Then it would have been like something like weird,
right,
where it would have been like, oh shit, is that real? Because like, you know, you get the right Mexicans, and they're gonna look like
Yeah, definitely.
they're from over there, and it's gonna look real, right?
You know why that has to do with, right?
What?
The Moors invaded Spain and all the southern
Oh,
peninsulas.
I was just making a joke to the.
Well, there's a reason behind that joke, and the joke has to do with the Mediterranean Sea. When the Moors came, they conquered like all of the southern Mediterranean. So there's like 500 years of Arab blood mixed into Italy, Spain, Greece.
What about me?
France. You're 100% Eskimo, bro. That's a little different, man.
I guess my point is though. and
I know
think,
what you're saying.
Like it's just the Obama thing is the perfect example, and that's what I would like. Those pictures and those photos and those everything. Like
This is how important Trump is to our like legacy or the death of the American dynasty. Is that since him, everything has become super offensive.
everything.
Everything.
Literally everything. But I mean, it's not a big. It's at the end of the day, none of this is really a big deal. It's all distraction, I think. And I'm not being like conspiracy theorist, but I mean, none of this stuff really matters.
No, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't.
Whether Kathy does, like, she could have done like all the president's heads,
Right.
and it wouldn't have mattered.
No.
Like, it's not important.
People are just looking for reasons to get pissed off. Speaking of offensive comedic material, this might not make it. Did you watch Louis C.K.'s latest Netflix special?
I didn't see it, but I saw it live. So I didn't watch the special, but I saw the special. If that makes
You were there for the recording?
not the taping, but like on that tour. So like I heard the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was underwhelmed.
I mean, I don't know how it came together in the edit, so like I can't comment on what you saw. But the new special that I saw live, I mean, it was pretty funny. It was a little dark though.
It was funny.
It was like morbid.
I'm not saying it was funny, but I guess my expectations.
He had that joke of the porn joke, right? Where like,
See, I can't remember. What sticks out to me was he started his set off talking about abortion. Like his very first joke was an abortion joke.
I remember that. It was pretty offensive.
And it was like you could feel the crowd like being uncomfortable.
It was the same way in the forum.
Yeah. And it's like,
I mean, I thought it was hilarious. I mean,
it
I
wasn't
remember,
that funny though.
Well, see, again, I don't know what
Yeah.
the taping looked like. I just
Right.
remembered my experience at the forum.
Right.
You know, he could have been riffing and he could have told his joke in a better
He was
way.
going really slow. The delivery of it was real slow. And it was like, and you know, I think that abortion is okay. It's still killing babies, but it's all right. Women need it. Like some shit like that. And it's like, he got to a punchline eventually, but it took him so long to get to that payoff.
I think he's milking himself. Like he understands that like that's the CK delivery, the Louis delivery.
It could be. I mean, he used to be a lot faster, I think. If I listen to his old stuff, he would say a lot of shit in a short amount of time, you know. But this one was more, you know, I guess I didn't like he was wearing a suit either. I want to see him in his fat black t-shirt, you know.
Right. I mean, I think this tour came prematurely. I mean, this is all me just not knowing anything about Louis' life, but he made
It might be he rushed it because he's trying to.
he was trying to recoup his cost from what's the show that I fucking love and I'm blanking right now.
Louis?
Horace and Pete.
Oh.
He self-funded that himself. I think it was like $2 million.
Oh, that's the one where you like pay for what?
Yeah.
You donate to see the show, right?
Right. You pay per episode.
He pulled.
Now it's all on Hulu. So
he
now
pulled a
it's,
Radiohead though, where it was like pay whatever you feel.
no, he continued. No. It wasn't what you. Well, maybe it was what you feel. I don't remember. I just remember like the first episode was cheap, and then like each episode
Right.
after that was like $1 or something like that,
Right.
whatever. And I think it was both great that he did it that way because that show was amazing. Like I really loved that show. It was the last show I binged watched from beginning to end. And so it was because he had no creative, like no one over his head. It was all
Just
from
did whatever
him.
he wanted to.
Exactly. But the negative thing about that is I can't name you 5 people who've seen it other than
Right.
myself. You know what I mean? I mean, now it's different. It's on Hulu and stuff like that. There's a different market, but like
I don't think Louis C.K. is 100% mainstream yet. I think he's like that guy.
he's not Kevin Hart.
He's
but
like that band that's like really great, but only like a few people know about him. He's like the Deftones when Korn was out.
I wouldn't say a few people. I think he's like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Deftones have platinum albums.
I think amongst.
But the era they came out in, Korn was the huge fucking band that everybody like.
Sure, so they weren't like huge per se.
They were under that umbrella.
Right.
But people like musicians appreciated what the Deftones did more than what Korn was doing.
Sure. I was going to say, because comedians, like, they'll all tell you, like, who's the big guy? Who are the big ones? Louis,
Bill
Dave
Burr.
Chappelle,
Everybody seems to like Bill Burr.
Those are the big guys. Like, they're not, there's other big people, but they're like, those are the guys that that you want to be like. They're the ones who are going to go in the Hall of Fame if there was one. Yeah, for sure. Like, first ballot Hall of Famers right there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, I just remember I remember a joke about porn where he's like, "There's so much porn that like you could create a baby and like start them on the A's, and they would live.
Still wouldn't get.
They would get to like they'd be like 65 years old, and they'd still be like halfway through the A's. Like they wouldn't even like if you stopped all production and you just went through the catalog of what is available now.
Like what I felt about it was that it started progressing and getting better. But the start was just so rough that it kind of.
I mean, I don't know.
Killed it.
Maybe it's the energy too. Because like
I don't know.
I just watched because like when I watched it was like 3. Back to back acts.
Right.
And then you're like already feeling juiced up. I had some drinks at that point too.
Right.
So there's like a different vibe. Then I still haven't seen the special, so I'm assuming it's the same. It might not even be the same thing. It might not. I'm assuming it is.
Check it out. We can bring it back up once you see it. For me. Definitely not as good as his last one.
I feel like there's so many freaking Netflix specials coming out.
Well, that's
I don't
what
even
they're
know
doing
what
now.
to want to watch.
They've lost all their movie licenses. You know, they're slowly losing all the movie licenses. So what they're doing to combat that is original series and then comedy specials. They're taking that away from HBO. You know, which is good for them because
I mean, that's better for us, the consumer.
Absolutely.
The more money they get, the more original stuff. Because I love to like Scarface is cool, Godfather's cool, but like
how many times are you gonna watch that
on Netflix? Once.
Yeah.
Like I want to see new stuff that I've never seen before.
Right.
House of Cards. You got whatever. What else is on Netflix?
All the
Orange
Marvel
the New Black.
Stuff,
Yeah. Marvel, Daredevil. Yeah, that's. But I mean, it's all
there's
stuff.
Tons of series. I mean, don't judge me. I watched.
What F is for Family season 2?
I watched 13 Reasons Why.
No, I want to see that show. I don't know anything about it.
You're gonna feel like less of a man.
That's fine
after you watch it. But it was. I watched the whole thing.
I want to see it. There's shows that I want to see, but like Sense8, I think it's called, like the Wachowski sisters show. I haven't seen it.
The OA is another one. OA.
Oh, the OA. I haven't seen that either. Yeah. The last Netflix show that I watched religiously was Stranger Things, probably.
Okay.
Like Get Out just got canceled. Like Get Down. Get Down.
Yeah.
Get Out's the movie. That's right. The Get Down just got canceled. I didn't even finish the first. I'm still on episode 3 of the first season.
Well, then there you go. That's probably why it got canceled.
Me personally?
No, I'm just saying, like it wasn't grabbing people. You know, it was very, very niche. And if you're not a hip hop guy, so
well, it has nothing to do with that. I just didn't finish it.
You're saying that, but I'm telling you, you're not a hip hop.
I still haven't finished Luke Cage.
Well, Luke Cage isn't as good as the other ones.
Well, Luke Cage, but it got better.
It did get better, but
I have to admit,
but
like
we
the
talked
story's
about that,
interesting.
and it like you were laboring through the first couple episodes.
Hard.
Yeah, so
I was giving birth, and then it got interesting. Then I was like, okay, like I understand,
but
like,
not interesting enough for you to finish it.
I don't know. I just haven't. Like I'm in this weird state where.
How long did it take you to finish Stranger Things?
2 days, 3 days.
There you go. You know,
it was only 8 episodes though.
Doesn't matter.
I would have finished Luke Cage by now. Like I've watched at least 8 episodes of Luke Cage.
Okay, but it
is
taking you more than 2 days to
Get
go
Down.
through
It was
8
only
episodes.
6 episodes.
Yeah, and you got what, the 1.5?
Well, 2 because I'm on the 3rd episode. I don't know. Well, to me, Get Down was more. It was too over, like stylized.
It was too Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, and then not enough like Leonardo DiCaprio for me to like enjoy it because I like Great Gatsby and it was definitely Boz 100%, but like there was a story to it where I'm like, yeah, okay, this is cool. I don't know.
So I see you. You sent me an article here about Trump has a loot crate box? Is that or something
Subscription
compared to it?
box. Okay, so personally, I was a little confused by it because I was like, well, wait. Because it's considered official. Like, it's not like someone decided, like, oh, you like Trump? I like Trump. Let's do it. What I was confused is, like, well, who gets the money? Like, who gets the money in that situation? Mm-hmm. Like, obviously not him, right? Because that would be conflict of interest. But it says, like, the Trump campaign sent out an email on Monday. I mean, is he already going for re-election right now? Is all that money going to go to re-election?
Who is running all his companies?
Well, his kids, supposedly.
It's all going back to him.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying, like,
I mean,
is he already campaigning for his re-election?
I thought probably. You know, I don't even know if he wants to do 2 terms, man. I would not be surprised if this whole thing was him
just him to do it.
For him, one, because Obama pissed him off at that correspondence.
And he said, you'll never be president.
Just to prove him wrong, and then 2, to just really.
He did, though.
Yeah, he did.
That's the ultimate I told you so.
He did.
I have to give Trump respect for that.
He didn't really do it in the best way,
but he did it.
He did do it.
Like, you ever think about, like, what do you think the first night was for Trump? Like, what do you think he was feeling? Like, holy shit, I'm like.
I think he had like a raging hard on. He probably took like 7 Viagras.
Just pounded Melania.
And then he just pissed all over Melania.
Or she peed on him.
Or they just peed on each other.
Just peed everywhere.
Yeah. And it was tough too, because you know the boner pisses, man, they're the worst.
Just
you gotta kind of angle yourself so you don't piss in your own face, you know.
See, I've discovered a method for that. For dealing with that. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but it's okay.
You shouldn't share how small your dick is with everybody, dude.
I won't say it then. I'll leave it a mystery. If you want to know, ask us in the comments, and I might respond. So yeah, this box, it's called the Bigly box, the Big League box, but it's called Bigly. I don't know. Anyway, offers a hand-picked bundle of exclusive and vintage official Donald J. Trump merchandise delivered to your door every month as a recurring donor. So I guess it is for his campaign.
How is it vintage? Is that
can be the price of yours for $69 per month.
Style? Is that a style now? I thought vintage meant something that was like old and original.
Well, I think what it's supposed to be. I'm clicking on the link right now. What it's supposed to be is like
his old headshots from the 80s.
No, like old, like Make America Great Again hats, like the original ones that you couldn't, whatever. Like my friend Michael, when I was in New York, I went to Trump Tower, but it was closed already. Mm-hmm. And I told him like, hey, look, I'm here. And he was like, get me this hat. Like, get me this colored hat, whatever it was. Because it was like only available in the Trump store. And he had all the colors except for this like special edition white and gold one or something like that.
Did he want them to resell them?
No, he wanted it because he fucking voted for Trump. Because he liked wearing them.
Oh, well.
So I'm saying, for Michael, if you're listening, you might want to subscribe to this because you might get that hat. I'm trying to find the link, but it's like this article is not. I hope it's not a hoax. What's today? It's not April 1st. It has to be real. I don't know. Well, we can move on until I find it, I guess.
Or we just move on.
We just move on. Trump Birchbox. Oh, that's what it's called. Birchbox. Trump Birchbox. There's a lot of websites reporting it, but there's no website. Where's the actual website?
It might not be out yet.
True. Okay, well, there you go. That's it. That's what I just thought it was interesting, and do you think he's that popular?
Dude, I don't know, man.
Do you think this is just like is going to be
I am just
a step in like everyone's going to do this? Like you're going to have a LeBron box?
I think this is one of those. What's the scenario?
Dodgers have a box.
What's the scenario that
wrestling has a box
that I'm thinking of, dude? What's that situation? You know the situation I'm talking about, where
it was just in a news. It was just in the email
where you did something that you fucked up. And
you let Pandora's box. You open Pandora's box.
No, you fucked up, and your friends are like waiting for you to say something, and you're just kind of sinking back in, like hiding from everyone, so you don't have to like face up to it. So I don't know if anybody's gonna buy this shit, but I feel like that's a lot. That's a lot of Trump voters. You know what I mean? I think there's some voters' remorse, but because of the internet, people don't want to get roasted. You can't say shit on Twitter. You can't say, you know what, I voted for Trump. And I fucking fucked up. This was a big mistake by me.
You got to stand by your guy.
Because you don't have to stand by your guy.
No, I'm saying think they have to stand by.
No, not even that. They're just not going to say anything. Because if they say something on Twitter saying, I fucked up, what's going to happen? Some random dude in another state is going to start roasting you. It's going to turn into this thread of where like, oh, yeah, well, that's what you get, kind of, you know.
Which sometimes it is the best way to just not say anything.
Yeah, and that's
I just let it go by the wayside.
I think that's happening quite a bit. I think that's happening quite a bit right now.
To me, that's my approach. Like honestly,
I know it's your approach. I've lived that approach.
What, to not say
anything?
anything?
Your approach, yes. I've lived you using that approach. Is what I'm saying.
I don't understand what that means.
I experienced it that time you broke Carlos's phone. You know, but then it went from not saying anything to like turning it against him.
So you're equating Carlos's phone breaking to Trump being elected to president?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it was kind of like. Like Trump voters broke Carlos's phone, and then instead of apologizing for it, they didn't say anything and they got pissed off. So they haven't got pissed off yet, but they're going to get pissed off and turn it around on them.
Okay, all right. Well, just to put a button on this, inside the photo of the box, like the photo of the box shows 2 Trump Pence stickers, a T-shirt, a Trump Pence T-shirt, a mug, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
You should just
buttons.
put a picture up on the
6 buttons
on the YouTube.
Oh, that's true. Well, you know, people listen to this on iTunes and stuff.
Right.
If you could subscribe, that'd be great.
That
Leave
would be
us a
great.
review. You know, you can do that.
It's not a big deal, guys.
Yeah, it's so simple. I mean, you want us to succeed, right? Probably not.
Speaking of iTunes, when was the last time we got a review?
I don't know. When was the last time you wrote one?
I haven't.
Because yeah, it's been a while. I don't know.
I never checked that shit. It's funny because
we have star ratings, but we don't have like written reviews. So like people have probably like given us a star rating, but like didn't have the balls to like actually put words to the rating.
Don't you talk about our fans that way?
That's true. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, all of our 5 fans out there. Actually, you know, like I said, I've been like,
there's secret listeners out there.
There's secret
we
listeners.
know you guys exist.
I don't know if you're obsessed with me or Gian or the content of our show.
We got 14 stars.
See? But we only have like 5 reviews, and you wrote all of them. I mean, you didn't write all of them. Carlos wrote one.
April 15th. My brother.
Did you write it for him on his account?
No, I didn't. He did.
Oh,
this
so okay, there you go.
Future SC Doctor. I wrote that on somebody else's account.
Yeah.
Miss Oops, I did that. Lychee USC, I did that. Oh, Jake Eagle, yeah, I did that too. I wrote one.
I know, and I thought it was one of my friends, and I got all excited. You're like, no, it wasn't him.
Mississippi Cricket, that wasn't me.
I don't know who that is.
He was a guy that traded reviews with me.
Oh, okay.
On Twitter, he was
all right, well,
if I leave you a review,
that's fair.
Leave me one.
I mean, we're not doing ourselves a good service right now, but by explaining.
Well,
everyone,
we're asking.
We're begging.
Fucking review. How hard is it?
And subscribe. We only need 19 more to get to 100. We're not asking
on YouTube.
For much.
Subscribe on YouTube and leave us reviews.
We're not asking for much.
Subscribe on
we have a lot of interesting things to say.
I feel like SoundCloud. Nobody gives a shit about the SoundCloud numbers.
See, I feel like
I don't know which one.
I don't know exactly. I don't know. We're not supposed to be pushing anything, Gian.
No,
we're just supposed to be being us.
We are.
This is not a business.
Tell me about your favorite teacher, Mr. Nagel.
Well, okay, we need to set up the video first, and then
can we play that video?
Yeah, right now we're gonna play the video, and then we're gonna like come back when it's over.
I stopped talking. You do not come up to me, Dr. Shu. Get my goddamn face.
You go there.
All right.
Sit down.
You go sit down.
What did you? Why you told me?
You go sit down. All right.
You never
come up to me like that. Who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah, twitch your little fucking face. Turn around and raise your fist like that, Dr. Shu. Do it again. I'm not fucking playing. All right? Okay. Come up to me and do that to me. I'll do it to you, bitch. All right?
Go sit down.
Shut your fucking mouth. Fucking tell me who the fuck you think you are. The fuck, nigga? Fucking bitch. The fuck, nigga? Pick up your fucking room.
You do that? You keep doing that?
You what, Dr. Shu, huh?
You keep doing that?
You took the fucking trash can to me, huh?
Everyone get out. Just get out. Sit outside.
Fucking whack ass nigga.
This is all in high school, right? That's because you found this video.
Yeah.
And white guy yelling.
We don't even know what year it takes place either. We don't know if it just happened
or
like,
this happened years ago.
it
And it's
happened
true.
a couple
I didn't
years ago.
analyze the style of clothing, but I'm assuming it's
Well, it's
recent.
definitely like modern, but
For
it
sure.
could have happened last year or 2 years ago.
It could have. We don't know.
We don't know, but
But the fact of the matter is, he's literally like this close from like punching the dude in the face. And I got to commend the teacher because the teacher didn't do anything. He didn't like
no,
he didn't budge an ounce.
He just told him to sit down.
He didn't like go to like call the police right away. He didn't like freak out. He was just like,
you sit down.
he's kind of, I feel like he wanted him to punch him.
Sit down.
Like, go ahead, punch me.
You punch me, I call police.
Like, I'm a teacher. I'm making $20,000 a year. I don't give a fuck about you. You can punch me all you want.
Yeah, he was an Asian teacher, probably like in his 50s. This white kid with the emo hair.
Total like Bieber. He had the Biebs, like
Yeah.
old school Biebs, classic Biebs.
He's like inches away from the guy's face, fist balled up, red, yelling at him,
Full.
flexing on him hard, like just calling him names, telling him he's a bitch, telling him don't you ever talk to me.
And
like
he
that
said
again.
nigga twice.
He said nigga
Twice.
Yeah, and he's like, super white kid.
Super white.
He's not Eminem.
And you
He
can
was
tell.
not.
You can tell the fact that he dropped the N-word twice like that. This was not. This didn't take place in L.A., in New York, and like any city where there's black people. This had to happen like in the Midwest somewhere where there's no black people, but they're familiar with Kendrick Lamar, so that means they can say nigga whenever they want. Like, you know what I mean? We don't have any black friends. We have maybe one or two, but like we're still cool because we listen to Kendrick. We listen to like Chance the Rapper. Like we're with it.
They've never been checked.
Ever.
And
'Cause
that's the one thing.
Because if this happened in L.A. or anywhere in California for that matter, let's just say L.A. If he would have said that shit, all the students could have been on his side at that point. The moment he drops nigga like that, it would have been like, what?
Right. Exactly. Like
It would have switched immediately.
What happened?
Because
And
it was
somebody
unnecessary.
Somebody might have even like jumped up and defended the teacher at that point.
Exactly, because all of a sudden, like he was out of line.
Have you ever
general.
been nigga checked?
I've never like said it inappropriately. Like that.
No, I'm not even saying inappropriately. Saying it at all.
I mean, well, technically, when I said Sam did kind of earlier, I don't know if that counts.
Doesn't really count. No, not because did he do it? No.
No.
Sorry, Sam.
Kind of at Compton one time when I was at junior college, and I was talking about Tarantino,
Right.
and my methodology.
Did you drop a hard ER?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's different.
But see, no, it's not different to me because what I believe is if you're going to say the word, you're going to repeat it or whatever, taking it from someone else's mouth. I'm going to say it because that's what was said. Because I'm not going to give it a power where I'm like, he said this, and no, I'm just going to say it because I feel like I'm not being offensive.
No,
by
but
it.
it's different. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. It depends on the context.
No, well, I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm saying you were using it. You were analyzing a movie and you used it, and then somebody got no.
No. So the situation was, we were having a debate in class about whether or not a writer should have, because this was right around the time when I think Django was being written or something like that. It hadn't come out yet. It was just being written, and someone had leaked that the N-word was used X amount of times in the article, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so we were discussing the article in class, and the discussion was about whether or not the fact that Tarantino, the fact that he's white, should it allow him to be able to say those words. And my argument was, you're being true to the character. He was being true to the characters living in the environments that they were.
Right.
Okay.
Well, this has always been an issue with Tarantino ever since Pulp Fiction. Like Spike Lee's always had an issue with him, right?
Exactly, and that's what he brought up
Since the 90s.
This other kid, he was like,
yeah.
"Well, that doesn't, So I'm like, so then he was saying like, so I said, blah.
I mean, if you want to make the argument that Tarantino is culturally appropriating, then I would kind of give you that because he does kind of glorify these things
For sure,
In
and
a
you can
certain
tell,
way.
and you can tell
Yeah.
in Hateful Eight when he has that Mandingo like speech.
right.
I mean,
Exactly.
that's clearly, but at the same time, Jackie Brown, Chris Tucker's gonna say nigga,
Right.
just like he's going to, because I know people like that.
Yeah, definitely. That's his character. But Samuel L. Jackson's character
Exactly.
doesn't really drop it in the same.
He
movie.
doesn't.
He's a little
He
different.
doesn't.
Because he was older, 70s, classic. I don't want to say classier, but he was a cooler,
Right.
like OG. You know what I mean? He don't have to talk
I think
like
he dropped it a few times.
He dropped it like once.
But it was like, it was impactful.
I think he dropped it with Chris Tucker.
Right.
As a thing, but with everybody else, it wasn't really like.
I think it was after he asked about the Roscoes.
Yeah.
But my point is, and I made this argument, is just because
I act like Chris Tucker when we're getting ready to go to Roscoe's. By the way,
everyone does.
I've been trying to go. Nobody wants to go.
I had
Everybody's
Roscoe's
on a fucking diet.
I had Roscoe's delivered from home delivered, not home delivered. What's the service called? Not Uber Eats.
Oh yeah, Postmates.
Postmates. Yeah, I had some Postmates. Roscoe's. It was not good because it just got cold in that 30-minute drive or however long it took.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, that it was about that. That's what it came about. And I was quoting lines from the movie to solidify my point.
Right.
The movie exists.
Yeah.
I'm not saying so and so. Well, if you don't. If we were talking and I said you don't know any better because you're a nigger, then it would have been like then it's me being.
It's a touchy subject, man.
It is, and especially because I'm not black and all that shit. But at the same time,
I mean, that's another like we should have a race discussion podcast where we can really go in deep, because I have a lot of thoughts that go a long ways. Same team. You know what I'm saying? I think that's part of the issue we have sometimes is.
I'm brown.
We're all part of the same
colored.
team.
We're all
and
colored.
sometimes people want to separate those teams, but
Hitler would have killed all of us.
he would have. But that's for another day.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you see the video on Facebook, I mean, the kid's a punk, and I don't know.
So so I wanted to talk about my teacher though.
Not if it's going to take 15 minutes. I don't care about your teacher anymore.
Okay, well, whatever.
I actually thought about cultural appropriation in one of the articles I sent you that we forgot about from last week before shit went down. The two white ladies in Portland who opened up a Mexican place and got shut down.
I didn't read that article.
So, I mean,
I just know about the people who got stabbed. In Portland.
You can fact check me, guys, if you want. But from what I read, these two ladies, like, they went on a mission to learn how to make like authentic tortillas, and came back to Portland, and they opened up like a little pop-up restaurant. And the SJW crowd got so fucking upset that these two white ladies were making Mexican food and saying that, accusing them of stealing people's recipes, which is everybody steals people's recipes.
It's a fucking tortilla.
It's a fucking restaurant. Yeah. To the point where they had to shut their business down. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure they completely opened yet. Like, they didn't get past that.
So the publicity was so negative that they just didn't even open their doors. They didn't want to deal with it. Is that what happened?
Something like that. Let me see if I find it. Let's see. They had a food truck. White owners of Mexican food truck shut down.
Dude, it's a food truck. That's like even more reason for white people to like.
That's funny because the only food trucks that exist are owned by white people. I mean, I'm exaggerating here, but I've only come, and they're all
for those specialty type things.
Yeah, they're culturally appropriating.
That's the you
So
can't.
my point is, does that bother you that someone from another culture or race makes someone else's food?
No, because well, first of all, I'm probably not going to eat it, so it doesn't matter. That's why I'm a little biased when it comes to that. But on the other hand, if it tastes good, why not? Like, you know what tacos I like? They're not considered to be authentic. Like, people don't like them,
right?
Or whatever. I like Chronic Tacos, Wee Man's taco spot.
I've never been there. Never even heard of it.
So they're just shops. They're soft shell tacos, whatever. And Wee Man, from Jackass, he owns it. They're called Chronic Tacos.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're a little pricey. They're definitely like, you would throw the menu at Wee Man's face if you saw the price of the tacos. But because I think they're like $4 a taco or something.
I did not throw those menus because of the price. I threw those menus because of the guy's attitude when I made a comment about the price.
I know. Well, exactly. If he would have priced them right, he wouldn't have been like, he wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, because he was like, oh, this guy's drunk. He doesn't know any better. Let's charge him $4 for a taco.
Right.
That was like this big. But at least, anyway, Wee Man's, I don't know. Is Wee Man Hispanic?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. They taste good to me. Like Danny Trejo. Like, what does he know about tacos? But he has a taco spot. People like him.
He makes tofu tacos, so he's automatically not making Mexican tacos.
But I'm just saying though, he's Mexican, but like just because he's Mexican doesn't entitle him to, like that doesn't mean his food's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think
He's Mexican and German.
I think these SJW cucks,
I mean that's kind of what they are right now.
like, you gonna shut someone's business down? I just think it's stupid.
Well, I mean, we've gone over before.
It's dumb. My issue is, man, people travel the world to learn other cuisines. Like chefs go. There are chefs from South America, Latin American, that go to France to learn how to make French cuisine. You know, why can't it be the other way around? Why is that a big deal? You know, I know there was I think I showed you a video. Maybe we talked about it on one of the earlier podcasts where this guy made pho.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
And
At
first I was like, okay, this guy's being a little too much. But at the same time, it's like, whatever, it's his place. You know what I mean?
If he's going to put his money into it.
Yeah. And if it's good, it's good.
If it's good, it's good.
You can't get mad because someone that's not Mexican makes a good taco. Like, you can't get mad at that.
I mean,
at all.
first of all, it's not hard to make a taco.
No, it's not.
Second of all, it's not hard to make homemade tortillas either. But what is hard about it is to get them to taste good.
Right.
And if you can do that, more power to you. I mean, I made tortillas when I was younger with my grandma, but they never tasted good. I mean, I was also a little kid, but the point is
so what the people are upset about is because they went to Baja and they went basically taught themselves watching like the little old Mexican ladies making tortillas on the street, and that's what pisses people. I don't care, dude.
When I was younger, I used to watch MasterChef, the Gordon Ramsay show.
Yeah,
and he had a segment where he wanted to like each of the chefs, each of the judges, like brought their favorite dish on the show.
Right.
Okay. And then it was like, oh, my mom's cooking, my mom, whatever. Like,
yeah.
And Gordon Ramsay brought in like, I think it was like pho or something. And it was from like a small little like Vietnamese restaurant in the middle of nowhere that he had like somehow like, so point is to him, that was the greatest pho he's ever had in his life.
Right.
But he said, because of that, I was able to like, it changed the way I looked at like soups or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was able to take that and implement it in other things that he was able to make and continue to like grow as a chef. But he always like, I remember where I was, I remember what I was doing, like it's this restaurant, whatever.
Well, that's his food is his life.
But the point is though, if Gordon Ramsay made you some pho and you like any of these SJWs or whoever's complaining, if Gordon Ramsay made you some pho, you're not gonna be like, don't make me this. Like you're not Vietnamese, you can't do this. But
it's you know, I'm not a fan of fusion cuisine, but you know.
But I'm just saying though.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, I just think it's ridiculous. What I do have an issue with is these two white ladies make a taco truck and then they force the little Mexican guy out because people are like, oh, there's these two white ladies making tacos. They look cleaner than the little Mexican guys thing. Like that shit bothers me.
Mexicans need to step their game up, bro. That's all that means.
That's a little different. Like when that new fancy fusion place moves into a neighborhood and then kills the business with food that's not as good, but it's overpriced.
It's also Portland, though. That's the other thing.
Oh, absolutely.
That lady would not survive here.
No, she wouldn't.
Unless she was like hugging UCLA, USC, like every Thursday, like those. Like if she was a part of that group that would go around like first Thursdays or whatever.
They'd have to be at LACMA, and then exactly, to be those, like, they'd have to go run around.
Then they would make it.
They'd have to run that circuit, but
you're not going to take like El Gallito Tacos, King Taco. You're not going to take those business away.
No, and let me tell you something. King Taco is it's a shitty taco. Okay.
You get what I'm saying, though.
And I'm just calling out all you LA Mexicans with your little taco spots that you talk are the shit and they're not good at all just because they're in fucking Boyle Heights or whatever. Doesn't mean they're good. And we all know that they're not fucking good, but you want to say it anyways because it was like the original one, dude.
I mean, I like El Gallito.
The one that place sucks too. Fuck that place.
They don't even have them over here. You have to go down like in the South.
El Gallito or El Gallo? What's it called?
El Gallito, not Tacos El Galavan or whatever that one place is called.
You sent me to one Gallo something.
There was one by USC. That's not it.
Okay,
it was like right by USC.
And I was pissed off when you said
it was like a drive-through too.
I pulled your Mexican card there, the one that you never had.
It was a drive-through, right?
Yeah, I was upset when I had that
because I said they were okay. I mean, they were okay.
They were not okay. They were.
I don't know.
They got a solid.
The chorizo tacos were good.
Out of 10.
The chorizo tacos were good. Not like a few hours later, but that's what I think that.
If
might
you
be
do want to check out a good spot in East LA, there's a place called Cinco Puntos. Best carnitas tacos I've ever had in my life. That place, check it out.
Are they $1?
No, they're like $3 because they're like a plate. The tacos the size of a plate. They're huge.
I'm trying to remember this place I went to. not broken Spanish. I already talked about it on the show, but I just recently had some tacos. I didn't pay for it. It was first set, so I can't complain. But it was like $6 for like 6 mini tacos, and it was like the tortilla was like this big, and there was like a little dab of meat on it.
Right.
And they were okay, but it was just
not for $6. That would have been hot.
Yeah.
See, that's the shit I'm not good with.
Well, it's like going to broken Spanish.
These two ladies, I'm not good with that either. These two ladies making their own homemade tortillas in a taco truck, fine. I don't give a shit. But now when you charge us $7 for it, you're trying to make something fancy that's not fancy. We've talked about that up and down. That's I got a different issue when it comes to that. But but I guess back to me calling people out. Okay, that dish that your grandma makes that's super bomb. Oh, my grandma makes the best.
Sometimes it is good though.
Sometimes it is good. But when that fucking French cook chef learns that recipe,
he's going to take
he
it.
blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
Or she blows it out of the water. And your grandma's recipe, I'm sorry, it doesn't compare anymore.
Maybe, though.
All
Depends. Right. I'd be curious to try. Because there's certain dishes that, like, sometimes it's just like you've had the best of something and you don't know how it can get any better from a homemade.
Maybe.
Sometimes.
Like what? The other thing is nostalgia plays a part in how you eat. Like if you grew up eating something a certain way,
well, I'm thinking of these
you're
like
used to the way these things.
These like jalapeno beans. Anyway, that's another thing.
But that's also a part of it. If your mom cooked a certain way your whole life, when you eat it a different way, sometimes it's like hard to get used to.
Well, for me, it was I'd have the same shitty beans, and then I actually had good beans.
Okay, so you knew they sucked from jump.
No, they just taste like refried beans. They just tasted like regular beans,
but
like,
out of a can, probably.
Most likely.
Right.
And then I had like homemade refried beans.
That's different. That's a different thing, though.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. All of a sudden, my senses, I got woke. Like my food senses just woke.
Right, and then you
so
got
what
home
you're saying,
and you're like,
go,
"What is this shit you're giving me? You've been lying to me this whole time."
I guess I used to say that to my mom. Like, I guess like it kind of tastes like what grandma makes, but it could do better. Like I would say things like I was a little kid. I don't know. I guess I was always not the nicest person in the world.
LeBron James.
I didn't know he lived in Brentwood.
Dude, they all live out here.
I didn't know that. So his house got
that's like
vandalized.
That's a lot of people, like a lot of experts say, LA has been having trouble signing big free agents. It doesn't have that same allure.
Because they all live here already?
And it's like, well, no, just think about it. You can go and play on another team in a smaller market and make more money because you're not getting taxed as much.
Right.
And you can still live in LA in the off season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. People they already live here. There's no reason for them to come out here because they already live here.
So it used to be like the whole glamour of, you play for the Lakers, play in LA is gone now because it's like there's just so much money being made that they can fly to wherever they want to, whenever they want to. So now it's like, well, I'm just going to make as much money as possible in Milwaukee.
So what happened today, 6:44 a.m., his gate was spray painted with a racial slur, with the N word printed all over it. Now it doesn't say what happened specifically, but LeBron did respond to it, and I'm trying to pull that up right now. I mean, where's game one at?
Oakland.
It's in Oakland.
Yeah.
So he's probably where
he's probably there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not home, is what I'm saying. He probably wasn't home.
He might be in LA right now because they don't play. Tomorrow's the first game, so he might have been in LA at least.
Because that flight's like an hour, right, or something like that.
45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it up.
And they're not flying commercials, so they might be gate to gate. They're there in 30 minutes or whatever.
That's crazy that they don't have to fly, like that. They have their own team, everything.
Right. This is horseshit, though, man. How are you gonna do that? Like, this is just.
I don't understand why you would.
We still got people out there saying that racism doesn't exist anymore. We had a black president
because Obama,
and then something happened. Like something happens like this. This is ridiculous. Not to mention, you might not like LeBron. People have their issues with LeBron, but the guy in the public has not been a nicer guy. He has not done anything. He's not known for partying.
He's not. As you said on your podcast, he's not Michael Jordan.
No,
he's
definitely
not an asshole.
He hasn't done anything controversial at all. So for someone
Other than leaving Cleveland.
for 4 years, that's it, man. That's just,
But that's his decision. He can do whatever he wants.
He can. This is stupid. Like, I don't know who felt the need to do that. And it's in Brentwood too. So I'm wondering if it's some rich kid. It's got to be somebody's son who thought it
Not
would
necessarily.
be funny.
Because with the star maps and stuff like that, I feel like you could find out where he lives. I really do.
Oh, maybe.
Because when I was filming in the Pacific Palisades and I saw like fucking celebrities,
Yeah.
actual celebrities, it was kind of like, oh wait, these people are like normal. They live right. You could go up to their house if you knew where they lived.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they all live in like secluded islands or something like that.
I just think I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this. It's just really I'm disappointed
LeBron
in
said-
society right now.
LeBron said, James said the incident goes to show that racism will always be a part of the world, a part of America. If this is to shed the light and continue to keep the conversation going on my behalf, then I'm okay with it. My family is safe. At the end of the day, they're safe, and that's most important. But it just goes to show racism will always be part of the world, part of America. Hate in America, especially for African Americans, is living every day. And even though it is concealed most of the time, we know people hide their faces and won't say things about you. When they see you, they smile at your face. It's alive every single day. No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, being black in America is tough. And we got a long way to go for us as a society and for us as African Americans until we feel equal in America. And I think that's important that he said that. We feel equal because they are equal now.
So let me ask you something. How's this motherfucker not got cameras in the front of his house? How do you not have your...
He probably does. Maybe that's how he got it detected. Maybe that's how they figured it out. I mean, those houses, the Pacific Palisades, they were like fully decked out.
You know, it'd be crazy. If it was
If
Draymond Green.
Oh, if he
on
hired
camera and it was Draymond Green spray painting it on his gate to get in his head.
All like the Warriors were all doing it, all of them.
It was KD, Draymond, and Steph all spray. Hey, you get 2 letters. You get 2 letters.
Do you think they would
get 2 letters?
If they were to do it, do you think they'd be like all like covered up, or they'd be like in their Warriors uniform?
They'd be out. Oh man. But
they probably do joke like that. I mean, not to that extent, but like I bet you they do play
like
jokes
pranks,
on each other.
Oh yeah, they do.
Because I'm sure that these people are all friends.
Yeah.
I would assume that like LeBron and Steph probably hang out once in a while.
No, they don't like each other.
Okay, well maybe LeBron and KD.
LeBron, when Steph got the 2 MVPs, he used a lot of passive aggressive statements through the media towards Steph.
Why? Because
And
LeBron
Draymond
felt like they were
Draymond
his
has been public.
MVPs.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Draymond's been very
Were
public
they his
with disdain.
MVPs?
You can make you can make an argument every year for him to be the MVP. It's just how
If
it is.
if you weren't raised in the Bay, would you say that they were his?
What Steph did last season was historical. No one has ever had a season like that, especially for someone his size.
So maybe one of them was LeBron's, is what you're
No,
saying.
because unanimous is what really bothered people. But maybe the first one you can make an argument. But last year, what Steph did was it's something that's never been done before. It was ridiculous. It's just kind of like people. I'm not a fan of Russell Westbrook, but people they have a point when they say no one's ever done.
X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, like that. He did that. It doesn't matter how he did it, but
He
what Steph did for his size and the type of game he plays, what he did last season, for me, it was more impressive than what Westbrook did this season. That's another completely different argument. But if you guys want to hear, quick plug, if you guys want to check out the other podcast where Prodigy from Be Then BTI and I are talking about the NBA Finals and kind of
good.
break down
I
the
listened
NBA
to it.
season. Check it out. It's on the SoundCloud. It's on your iTunes. It is
Normally
on
I'm bored by
YouTube.
Gian Sports podcast, but I actually listen to it. It's good.
What a dick, because they're usually 7 minutes long.
Exactly. That's just goes to show how boring it is. No. What? It's funny.
We can't all be a human muppet with our movie reviews with the mic in our hand. I never stood Daniel's head. For all you YouTube guys, this is a special. Oh, I really liked how Ridley did this and this and this. Now I know why you held the mic in front of your hand, because if not, you would have been talking over here, talking over there.
Are you making fun of me?
Absolutely.
Are you making fun of my Parkinson's?
Is that what you have now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fucked up.
All right. Makes sense.
We didn't choose to be born this way. It's not our fault. Well, I was going to say, I mean, Steph can win all the MVPs in the world. He's still not going to be considered a GOAT like LeBron. because I feel like Steph came out of nowhere and he's good. Don't take that from him at all. But last year doing his NBA, I don't even watch basketball, but that's how much this was like going through the ether of the internet.
Well, Steph was hurt.
They were making it
last
seem,
season.
the last 2 years, they've been making it seem like he's the greatest of all time.
Well, he changed the game. That's the one thing that LeBron hasn't done that Steph did do. The NBA is played completely differently now because of Steph Curry.
He's
changed.
not the greatest of all time, though.
You know, he's not the greatest of all time. I'm not even gonna say that. He's not even close.
But you've heard it.
I heard people
say
saying
it.
people said some. They're
No one shoots threes like him. That's why he's the greatest.
They say some silly shit, but the one thing I gotta say, what gives him some precedent is that his style of play has changed basketball, and not just in the NBA. It's changed it through every single
He plays
level.
like I play basketball, except good. Like I don't mind shooting from half court. Like if I was making those baskets,
There were times, and even this season, Steph makes it look like a video game because of the crazy shots he takes and makes.
That's so I base my style off video games. That's why I play like that. That's my point.
I think you got to show the clip from Along Came Polly for that. Daniel is Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly. That's his style. Of play.
Not intentionally either. Like I didn't see that movie and I was like, I'm gonna copy
Not
this
as a
style.
joke.
I like that's how I shoot. Like what is it, like Rainmaker or whatever?
Yeah, make it a rain.
Yeah.
Rain dance!
That was me. I also look like Philip Seymour Hoffman too.
Do you?
Well, fat. Yeah. I mean, he's dead. I don't look like him now, but when he was living. Anyway, the only thing I always say to people who say that stuff, just to sum it all up, is, okay, what Steph does in the next few years is going to determine whether or not he's like, you could even have that conversation.
Oh, it's going to define him for sure.
Because he's not, to me, he hasn't put enough time in to where like you can have that conversation.
I will completely agree with you on that. Not to mention like the Warriors.
He's great. I'm not going to take that away.
The Warriors win this year. It's also going to kind of taint him because of Durant. Durant's taken away some of that shine as well, which sucks because Steph carried the team.
They don't need KD either.
No, they didn't need KD. No, had they not choked away the series last season,
they wouldn't have got him.
They wouldn't have signed KD because they didn't need him.
I still don't even know why they signed him. Other than that meme that I showed,
because they could.
Where it was like the only reason why we signed him is so he wouldn't be on the OKC.
That might be part of it too. That there's some credence to that, man. But I feel like Durant was on his way out anyway because Russell Westbrook chased him out of town. You know what I mean? KD, when KD left, he like.
I still don't hate him for it.
He
I probably did the
became
same thing
a strange dude. Like he let his freak flag fly, and people were like, he wasn't being himself. And I think coming to the Bay Area, being around Draymond, like it kind of like let him open up and like, wow, this is who I really am. This is how I want to be. So he's like more relaxed.
Do you think
it's good for him?
Is he going to sign with the Warriors again, or is he going to go to another team and try to like?
If he wins 2 chips, I mean, what else does he have to prove?
I'm talking about KD.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
If KD wins 2 chips with the Dubs, I don't think he's like, why stay there? Now
he has a 2-year contract?
He's got a 2-year contract.
Oh, I thought it was just 1 year.
No, it was 2-year contract.
Well, never. I thought it was 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was like after this.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's
a 2-year deal. He wins the 2 chips. I mean, maybe he goes home. Maybe he goes and plays for Washington just because now he's close to home. Now he pulls LeBron. LeBron got his chips with Miami, goes back to Cleveland and does his thing. He has a homecoming.
Where's he from?
DC.
Oh. I don't know. I don't.
It could be, and maybe, and then that might be the ultimate challenge. Like, okay, he beat LeBron in the West, and now he wants to eliminate LeBron from the East.
I mean, that could happen.
It could.
You mean you'd never really know what's going on in these basketball players?
You never know.
Like at that level, like what do they have to play for?
There's no.
Once you win the championship,
from what I remember, there's no. They don't test for weed. So he might just be smoking all kinds of pot in the Bay, just having a good old time, not giving a fuck. You know
Maybe.
what I mean?
I just think that it's interesting to me that we have all these conversations, right? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we're gonna have Bell soon coming up, and he's gonna just dominate everybody.
Who?
Bell.
Oh, Ball. Come on, dude.
Bell?
If you're gonna drop a hot take, you gotta get.
I thought it was
Lonzo Ball. How did you forget his name? We've talked about him like 3 times already. That's how much Daniel cares.
About Bonzos. Well, I fucked that one up.
All right. So let's we got a little bit left, a little bit of time left. Let's tell me how I'm wrong about Wonder Woman, which opens tomorrow. Or did it open tonight? Is it opening tonight?
No, it's open on Thursday. Well, maybe it might open tonight because it's summertime now.
Right.
So summertime movies start on Wednesday. I think it opens tomorrow though. I mean, yeah, tomorrow's and Thursday. So you might not be wrong, but you've said numerous times on this podcast that it's been getting bad reviews. Like this movie's been getting, and I was like, no, that's not what's. And then you're like, no, that's not what I heard from. So you might not be saying this. You might not be wrong, but your sources, whoever that you listen to, that's been telling you that the movie's been having trouble and all this shit, clearly they've been wrong. At least if we're gonna go off Rotten Tomatoes. Now my thing is, that might not be a good thing for me, because that might mean that the movie, I might hate it now.
Okay. So let me ask you something. Have you read any of these reviews?
Not one, because I didn't even want to know that it was doing good.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
So
I hoped it was getting negative buzz so I could be super surprised by it.
I don't want it to be bad. So let's get let's get that straight. I don't want it to suck. Some people might think that I want it to suck. I don't. I want it to be good. I love comic book movies. I want to see more DC movies. I want to see the Shazam movie with The Rock as Black Adam get made. That would probably be my favorite movie.
Not if his next movie's like if he does Baywatch 2. I don't know.
I think that was like the number 3 grossing movie. I mean,
The Rock couldn't even say Baywatch.
No, I mean,
I'm just saying though.
It's like chips, man. You can't bring back these old properties that people didn't grow up with.
But those people aren't The Rock.
Yeah, but I'm okay.
The Rock's the biggest paid actor right now.
He messed up by doing that movie because that's not a movie for him to do.
It's not. Like,
people don't go see The Rock to be. I mean, he's funny.
He's a supporting character in Baywatch, not the lead in Baywatch.
Yeah, and he's an action movie star. And yeah, maybe I haven't seen the movie, so maybe there's some action sequences, but it's not the same kind of action. The Rock is the modern Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has
for sure
big guns, big explosions.
He speaks better too.
Yeah, definitely. But if you, I took a look at the reviews because this is the thing that I'm concerned about with all these people hailing it, giving it too much credit. There's a tinge of feminism in each of these reviews. There's stuff like, oh, you know,
she's such a powerful woman.
Patty Jenkins shows what she can do with this powerful woman character, like stuff like that. Like,
I don't know.
That's not telling me that's good or bad.
That's you talking shit about Pat. We had an argument about Patty Jenkins.
That's neither here nor there. What I'm telling you is, but there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of women reviewers. All the women reviewers are saying that it's great.
I've read one thing, and I'll go ahead and finish.
Okay. The other thing is, this is the best DCEU movie so far. What does that tell you? Because that tells me that's not measuring. That's not saying much.
But we haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it yet.
So it might be.
But it's getting this hype that
it might be good though.
It might be. You know what? The one honest thing is, and I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, and this is the thing that's kind of, if you glance at Rotten Tomatoes, it says 100%.
I think it's at 97 or something. I'll look right now.
Well, the top critics, it's 100% from the top critics, 100% fresh. However, when you look at that score, and I didn't realize that until today, 100% fresh doesn't mean it's a 10 out of 10.
No,
it's like
a collected.
It's like a 7.3 or something out of 10.
Well, there's no. I feel like Rotten Tomatoes is just an amalgamation of all the reviews put together.
Right.
But these could, like, I think a C+ review is considered positive.
Yeah, it's a positive review.
So it's like you could have a bunch of C+, but like there's no way to prove it unless you go in and like individually look at everything.
Right.
Right now it's at a 94%. Average rating is 7.6, like you said. But we haven't seen it. And all that matters is the audience, you know, because there might be that. There might be that like tinge of like feminism and like, yeah, we need to have it. But it could also just be because it's a good movie.
It could be.
It could also be like a Get Out effect where it's like
exactly
what you're saying, where it's like
where it was a good movie, but it, you know,
but it was it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever it ended up being at. No, it wasn't.
Right.
But it could be a good movie though. Like that doesn't mean it's not a good movie. And
right.
I want to see if I tweeted it on Twitter it doesn't matter. What I saw was it was an article comparing how Patty Jenkins was a risk
Right.
for Warner Brothers because she's only directed a $3 million movie or whatever. The same argument you were saying.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, if you look back on the history of like the Star Wars directors, the whatever directors, the directors that I used to defend her, they weren't a risk. They were never labeled as a risk. So like and I think it's kind of like,
I mean, Star Wars was kind of a low budget movie when it came out, and he also wrote it. Like
no. I'm talking about the guy who did Jurassic World, like these like indie directors doing these big time movies.
Right.
The new King Kong movie, like he did Kings of Summer and it went right into King Kong.
Right.
Godzilla, like it's a trend where you get these indie directors and they do these big movies right out the gate, right? And I use that as evidence for reason why that you should believe in Patty Jenkins because her work. But for you, you're like, I don't know. She hasn't done an action movie.
Well,
so
not
like,
only that, but that's the reason why they get these directors without a track record is because they can pay them less and they can control them more.
But see, no, it's not that. If you read about what Patty Jenkins said about the movie, that's the reason why she didn't do Thor 2, because that's what they were trying to do to her. And she was like, I don't care to do a movie that's not going to be good. I don't care to do your movie. I want to do my movie. And that's what turned DC on. Because my personal theory is they had so much bullshit going on with fucking Zack Snyder's kids committing suicide. You know, it sucks and all this shit. But like, the movie wasn't.
Well, that just happened. So
no, it happened. They just announced it. It happened a long time ago. Joss Whedon has been working on this movie way.
Really, I didn't know that.
His daughter or son, I think it was his daughter, killed herself in like March or February or March, and they just now announced it. Publicly, but it had been that way, and Joss had been working on the movie even before that. Like Zach hasn't been working on the movie. It just came out. I don't know if someone threatened to release, you know what I mean? Like some grimy shit went down, but like it happened a while ago, and they just now uncovered it all. But the thing is like maybe that was going on, so like they just kind of let it hands off,
right?
Or maybe they intended it for it to be more hands on, but like the dailies were that good where they're like, let's just give it. I don't know, but personally, I feel like Wonder Woman is going to be her movie, and I think that's why that's my take on it, because something must have happened where like she didn't have that overbearing, but she said I did not do Thor 2 because of that. Because your theory was proven correct based on her words about like after Joss left, they cared about getting names for directors, true, relatively, but they cared more about controlling people,
right?
As opposed to let's have Patty Jenkins do whatever she wants with
So
Thor.
what's going to happen when Taika Waititi blows Thor out the fucking water?
Who the fuck is that?
That's the guy that's directing.
I know,
Thor
but
2.
I forgot. I mean, Thor 3.
Hunt for the Wilderman.
Oh yeah, same thing. Well, who knows?
Okay.
Maybe
that's going to prove that
good dailies. Maybe good dailies allows.
But that might prove that Marvel's theory of fucking being micromanaging works.
Maybe.
But
you don't know how much free reign James Gunn has on Guardians.
Right. Well, he's different.
People like it so much that they're like, well, shit, let's just let him do it.
He's established.
I don't know. You don't know like how the pitch meetings go. It's hard. Like I'm inclined to believe and agree with you, but at the same time, I do think that there's some credence to people saying like credibility, I should say, to people saying that it's a little fishy that some people say it's a risk for her, but then not for these other directors. Like Monster's a great movie, and I stand by that.
Okay,
100%.
You know what the risk is, though.
I mean, it's a big risk because she hasn't made a movie. Exactly, she hasn't. 100%. I get that. But we both know
if the risk pays off, that's fucking great.
We both know that that's not. It might not be her fault that she hasn't made anything since then.
Yeah,
we both know that.
No, absolutely.
We
I don't
both
know anything
how
about this woman, so
Well, I mean, I think it's like the whole Tom Brady thing. We talked about this last year, right? The Tom Brady and the Colin Kaepernick thing, right? Mm-hmm. Colin Kaepernick does something because he's black, and then all of a sudden it gets this big hailstorm. Tom Brady does a similar thing with the Trump supporter, and all of a sudden it's kind of like a brushing it off, right? Tom Brady's kind of like your Marvel. They can control their directors. They can they can hire people. Disney can hire people, and it's okay because it's Disney.
Not sure I'm picking up on this example very well, but
no.
Well,
for me it makes sense because I'm just trying to say What I'm talking about here is the way the articles are written, the language that they're using. And specifically this article, which I need to find, was illustrating the fact that Patty Jenkins is a risk, but she's no more of a risk. Let me put it this way. She's no more of a risk than Gareth Edwards was to the Godzilla movie.
Which sucked.
In your opinion. But it didn't suck enough for him to land Star Wars.
A lot of people's opinion.
It got him Star Wars. At the end of the day, it got him Star Wars.
And what did they do to him?
Ryan Johnson's another one. He did Looper, okay, but does that mean he deserves Star Wars Episode 8?
Oh, there's a reason why he got episode 8, though.
But give me a reason why Ryan Johnson deserves... Okay, he did Looper. What other action movie has he done since then? Could you even consider Looper to be an action movie?
It's a science fiction movie.
But is it an action movie?
Yeah. It's almost there. It's not completely there.
It's almost there.
It's definitely a sci-fi, and Star Wars is a sci-fi.
Sure, but there's no fucking aliens in Looper.
And the same thing with Star Wars. Star Wars has a formula that they stuck to. We saw that in The Force Awakens that was directed by J.J. Abrams. And that fucking cookie cutter formula did not.
So they're not
differ
risks,
at all. No,
but
they're
they
not
are
risks.
because they have to work in that system.
Right.
But then DC's kind of proven to be like meddling with other people's affairs, with Suicide Squad, with Batman vs.
Well, I think the
Superman.
problem with DC, Warner Brothers, is that
They try to start their universe
everything was a reaction to what Marvel was doing.
late. Right. And we've talked about this a million times, but it's just like
We've exhausted this. So that's DC is trying to catch up. And that's the biggest issue, is that they're trying to catch up. So they're trying to pull out every
which is why I'm hoping
stop they could. And this, I mean, this is turning to a negative place where like it sounds like I'm talking shit about Patty Jenkins or anything, but it's not. It's not what I mean. Is my problem. I don't even have an issue with it. Is I'm hoping that it's good, but I've heard from other people that saw early screenings that it wasn't that good. And now when we get we have the women's only screenings, and we have all these feminist bloggers and whatever who are the majority of people that are pumping this up. Like, it's great to see a female director and stuff. It's like, man, it's the same thing that happened with Get Out. Like, oh, black director, black writer, makes this black horror movie kind of deal where it gets its hype train, and then you show up and you watch it, and you're just like, man. And you get Guardians of the Galaxy for you. Because the expectation gets too high, and then you end up not enjoying the movie for what it is.
right. That's why I'm saying I hope that the movie, like that's why I haven't read any of the reviews. I'm gonna go in. I'm not even read the headlines. Like, I haven't even read the little blurb that Rotten Tomatoes puts, like a strong, whatever. Like, I don't even know like what the general vibe is. I just know that like it's being well received. Because I don't want to know. I just want to go watch the movie.
Well, for future reference for all you Rotten Tomato critics that aren't listening to this, you should omit. It's like when Tony Dungy won the Super Bowl and they said he was the first black coach to win the Super Bowl. He said, I don't want you to say that. I just want you to say Tony Dungy is a Super Bowl winning coach. Because you add something to it that...
not really relevant.
Yeah, you don't need to. If it's a kick-ass movie, I don't need to hear like
it's only relevant
female-directed movie starring female character. Like, that's...
I mean, that's a little relevant, and I'm going to explain why. I think it's relevant until it becomes irrelevant. And what I mean by that is Spike Lee doing Malcolm X. That was important that it was a black filmmaker. Maybe it's not. Maybe you can make an argument that Scorsese could have made a better Malcolm X than Spike Lee did. But at least at the time, black filmmakers were not making movies on that scale, right?
I've never watched that movie.
Really?
Right.
Malcolm X is great. I love it. I love Malcolm X a lot. But my point is, though, that was a huge.
I'm not a Spike Lee fan.
That was a huge movie for Spike. That was a huge movie for black people in general. I think I want to see what the budget is. But he followed Francis Ford Coppola's advice. That's the only reason why it got made. And Francis told him to impregnate the movie, which means to shoot enough of the movie and then maximize the budget for that amount of the movie. So like you shoot 75% of the movie and you use the budget they give you to only shoot that 75%, knowing that you're going to need the rest of the funds to finish the rest. Mm-hmm. But you've shot so much that like they have to give you the money.
Right.
And so that's what he did for The Godfather. So it's called impregnating the movie. And so he did that for Malcolm X. But the point is, though, now you have someone like, what's her name, who did the Ava, what's her name? The girl who did the...
Ava DuVernay?
Her. No one really mentioned that she was a black filmmaker. I mean, yes, they were in tandem with the fact,
mean-
but it was more that she was a woman, in my opinion, at least from what I saw.
The subject matter of her movie kind of, you know,
I understand that,
you didn't
I'm
have to.
I'm putting the two together. In the 90s when Malcolm X was getting made, it was like black filmmaker first. Obviously, he's a male, so you wouldn't talk about
It's
sex.
a different time though because there weren't a lot of them. That's the
Exactly.
difference.
That's my point. And now in 2015 or whatever, she did Selma. Yes, her being black was a part of the conversation by default, but like more people were talking about her being a woman too. Mm-hmm. And at least for me, it's just like Wonder Woman. She could.
Well, then where does Catherine Bigelow fall into all of this shit, man?
In what way?
Nobody gives her the credit that she deserves. Nobody talks about her being a woman director, and all the she's made hit
and
movies.
You want to know why? It's because she does masculine movies. I'm not defending it. I just think that
Zero
in the general,
Dark 30, the protagonist was a woman.
No,
even if you, I
but
didn't.
they're not. But they're not feminine. And I'm not defending
Okay.
it.
I swear
I
to
think
God,
it's stupid.
if Wonder Woman is feminine when I watch it, or not, if she is feminine, I'm gonna be fucking pissed because the character of Wonder Woman is not a feminine character. She's a goddamn Amazon that lives on an island where no men exist.
Well, you're making it seem
And
like
she's a warrior.
you're making it seem like that's what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying.
Well, no, what I'm saying is what she's doing is nothing new. There's been tons of there's the Resident Evil movies that have a
But
female lead
she does
action
bring
hero.
she does bring a
you know.
perspective about being a woman though. And if the story is about Wonder Woman like finding herself in this society where it's just men or whatever, yeah, it might help. It might help to have a female perspective. I'm not saying that it's important or it's necessary.
we'll see.
Because you could have any director make a good movie, male or female.
It was a character created by men
Well, I can't argue
and
that.
been written by men for 75 years now. You know what I mean?
Wow, it was only a $30 million movie, Malcolm X. Holy shit.
$30 million in the mid 90s is a pretty
No, I know, but I'm just saying. That's a great movie, though. You should really watch it. I don't know. How much was Wonder Woman?
Why wouldn't I watch it, Daniel? Why wouldn't I watch it?
Why won't you watch
Malcolm
Malcolm
X.
X?
Why wouldn't I watch it?
I don't know.
Because it's a biopic, and I don't give a shit about
Oh,
biopics.
I was going to say because of black people, but
You know, that's not true.
it was a $149 million movie. That's how much. But you know what? I will have to give you one thing. Wonder Woman was written by a man. So I'm just saying. Alan Heinberg, I mean, he looks a little feminine. He might be gay. Not that that matters. I'm totally kidding if you're listening to this, Alan. Just JK. But no, so Alan wrote this movie and Patty directed it. I don't know, though. At the end of the day, does it really matter if it's a good movie? No. Because if it's a bad movie, you're going to know, okay, well, Patty Jenkins is not going to direct the sequel. We'll know that.
Right.
But I think this movie is on track to make more than its budget in the first weekend.
I mean, it just depends on what
There's no movies coming out this weekend.
It's a great release time.
It's the start of summer.
Although Guardians was the #2 movie this weekend. I don't know what the #1.
Well, Alien fell off the fucking planet to the point where it's like Alien doesn't. They're worried Alien might not even get a sequel. I mean,
Dude.
they've had plenty of sequels, but I'm just saying. I don't know.
It is rough that these release dates are so they're so
I
crucial.
know we
man.
talked about it. Fucking King Arthur. About how they pushed it back because of chips.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They pushed it back because of chips.
Pirates was the top box office.
And I heard that movie was trash. That's a movie that I heard was doing well on the test screenings. Like people were like, "This is cool," and then like the tomato score is like 25. They need to stop making those
72% audience
on Pirates.
on Pirates.
So maybe it's good.
I don't. That's there was a discussion. There's a guy on Facebook saying that someone was saying the reason like people are saying critics aren't like you shouldn't listen to critics anymore, and he's like that's bullshit. You know that's like.
I mean, you really shouldn't. You should
really not. You should. Yeah.
Make sure the camera's on.
Pirates was the #1 film, followed by Guardians, followed by Baywatch, followed by Alien. So Alien's the #4 movie. So I think the budget for Alien might have been a little too high considering their release date. They should have taken that into consideration.
Well, Alien will always be $100 million movie from now on because of the special effects.
I mean, we don't know
involved.
how it's doing internationally either. That's the other part.
So right now,
Great.
budget was $100 million, $160 million box office, according to Wikipedia as of right now.
Alien.
Alien.
So it made its money back.
Not with the marketing. You got to expect that at least 50 million went to marketing. At least half the film.
At the very least, it's going to break even by
for
the
sure.
time it's all
For
said
sure.
and done.
For
so.
sure. Plus DVD sales, everything like that, merchandise.
They're going to
You
make
know they
another
sell-
one. They're just going to have to figure out a better day. Like
a cheaper one. They're gonna have to go back old school.
it's tough right now to get these things out.
Who knows? Blade Runner might the new Blade Runner. It might just like people.
It's so funny. My coworkers were talking about the director, like lauding him, and I'm just sitting there like,
See, I told you, people love that fucking dude, that pretentious fucking guy.
but to be fair, the person that was talking about him the most is like he subscribes to the Criterion Collection. He gets it in the mail.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Not that
about
there's anything wrong with that.
There's
but it
nothing
just-
because you know what's on the Criterion Collection? Armageddon, and that's a good movie,
That's funny.
and it's on there. So if anyone wants to talk about those are the greatest movies of all time on the Criterion Collection, don't forget Armageddon is on there because Criterion thought it was worth preserving.
They won't accept that. They'll say something. Well, that's kind of weird.
Well, it was just a one-off. It was a joke. Like the Criterion people, they were like, "Let's make this joke.
Yeah.
Let's release this." But it's on there. I love Armageddon though.
Well, man, I think that's gonna wrap it up for me. Do you want to do a quick Desperate Moron segment?
Sure.
So we're gonna wrap this up with a brand new segment. Basically, we're gonna go find crimes that happen in different states by just criminals who aren't very smart. Desperate morons.
All right. So first one, I guess I could just go in order. So this was out of Palm Beach, Florida. Now, I'm going to just read the article. It's really short. Confrontation between neighbors led a Florida man to urinate in a person's mailbox. David Bender, 44. And also all these articles, I did take the time to validate them. So they're not all bullshit. David Bender, 44, was playing music too loudly when his neighbor, for his neighbor's liking. So the neighbor called the police. Officers went to Bender's home and asked him to keep the volume down, which apparently angered Bender. So Bender went to the neighbor and basically just pissed in his mailbox. So he was arrested with criminal mischief and taken to jail. So my question to you is, and the reason why I share this one, have you ever been in a situation, not where someone's pissed in your mailbox, but where someone's done something that barbaric? To me, that's the root level. That's animalistic right there. You can't get any more oh, you want to play music? All right, okay, cool. Well, how's your mailbox going to all this urine in it?
Right.
That's pretty. I mean, that's beyond slashing a tire.
Right. It's petty too.
Because it's gonna stink.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to clean it out.
I
If
can't-
there was mail in
I
it, it's
can't-
all ruined.
I can't really think about anything. I don't think anything like that's come close.
Do you think
to
he
happening
won?
to me? Absolutely.
He won, even though he spent jail time and has to pay a
yeah.
fine.
Oh yeah, because he's
He's never
still-
gonna play music loud again.
Yeah,
You
that
think
it is akin to sleeping with someone's wife.
being in their mailbox?
it's almost on the same level. I think
That's-
I think for him it was worth it.
And then let's just do one more. I had 4, but this one's more eventful. Okay, so it's loading. So this one's from dailymail.uk, the UK website. So the title, disgruntled factory worker, start that again. Disgruntled factory worker sets fire to cash machine, so an ATM, before getting nervous and putting out the flames with his own urine. So all of these articles just happen to be about urine, and I didn't plan it to be that way. I didn't think about that till right now. So what happened is, teenager in China got fired from his job, okay? And so he was really pissed about this. So he wanted to destroy the ATM. He tried to vandalize it, okay?
Did the ATM belong to his job?
I think it was something like that. And according to the article, it says he did this because he wanted people to be prevented from getting money from the machine. So I'm
Right.
assuming it was related to that. Okay. So he's messing with this machine and it catches on fire. And there's video of this, there's pictures, everything, right? This shit catches on fire and he's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. So the first thing he does is just to piss on it and then he leaves. It puts the fire out, I guess.
So he had like regret for burning the thing.
Apparently, I mean, fire kind of just makes things scary anyway. But my thing when I was reading about this, you don't think so? If
All I'm
you're
saying is, dude, you bitched out.
Oh, the Chinese guy? Well, he's in jail now.
He's a
He's probably at a workers camp. I mean, don't they have that in China where like
I'm sure he's like breaking stones. So
But the point is though, what I was amazed about this
they sent him to India
to answer eBay calls.
He's in the mines under what's his face and Temple of Doom.
Oh, the dude with the heart.
Yeah,
What's his name?
He's one of those kids. He's like right next to Short Round, chipping rocks away. In
all
some
because
mine. Because he tried to burn an ATM.
He just tried to destroy it and it caught on fire. But anyways, what I was impressed with is how dude can be in this like serious situation, this adrenaline. You know, adrenaline's pumping. He's a teenager,
Right.
and he was able to pee on a machine, like on point.
Maybe it was fear pee. Like he got scared.
Dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know how your body works, but I don't know if I would have been able to, like, first of all, think of, like, oh, I know I can solve this. I'm going to pee on this fucking ATM. Like, I would have been looking for a fire extinguisher, like, taking my shirt off, try to hit it. But, like, he was like, no, I got it. I have a dick. I can solve this. And he just peed on it.
Just all over the place. I don't know, man. I think that's hilarious.
Well, that's a good way to end the show.
Yeah,
Talking about pee. Going full circle.
Once again, subscribe if you're not subscribing. We could use that on YouTube. Subscribe on iTunes.
On everything.
Subscribe on SoundCloud. You can find all these links.
Stitcher too. We're on Stitcher too.
We're on Stitcher
we never
as well.
push that because I don't even know if like that's a thing.
I don't even know how to track our Stitcher.
I don't know how to track most of our stats. Like iTunes, what gives Apple? Like we should be able to track our stats.
Well, SoundCloud tells us that.
Well, kind of.
Kind of.
Kinda
It's not solid, but yeah.
Gives you an indication.
Either way, help us out. Give it a like. Give it a share.
Yeah, especially the share part.
Yeah, tell all your friends.
All right, guys, that'll do it. That's gonna be it.
Deuce.